Hey guys, welcome back. So I was in the middle of rage quitting my second attempt at my 12th Doctor retrospective video, and then I came across this, Jodie Whittaker returning to Doctor Who. So Big Finish, in partnership with BBC Studios, today announced the first ever 13th Doctor audio dramas as Jodie Whittaker returns to the Whoniverse alongside Mandip Gill as Yasmin Khan. So for those of you that don't remember, in 2017, Jodie Whittaker made quote-unquote TV history as the first female incarnation of the beloved Time Lord in Doctor Who. Yeah, it was history. And to this day, I think Jodie Whittaker can best be described as the female Doctor. It's kind of it. Nothing about her ever really stood out. And to this day, fans sort of have a bit of a divide as exactly where they stand with her and the era as a whole. I would say the Chibnall era needed a rewrite. That's the nicest way to put it. Like, there's a lot of clever ideas here that don't quite seem to live up to muster. There's a lot of ambition, but not much discipline. As proposed to Jodie's Doctor, I think it's sort of the same thing. There's not a lot of substance to her Doctor, and it sort of feels like she didn't have much of a idea or opinion where she wanted her character to go, what she wanted her to be or do. And everyone sort of agreed, like, we know, under a different showrunner, a different writer, she would have thrived. And I think that's a fair assessment. If I'm not going to blame Colin Baker for his era, knowing full well it was a bunch of other factors outside of his control, I have to apply the same standard to Jodie Whittaker. And I'm going to. I would like to see this Doctor under a different showrunner, under different writers, and see what's going on here. But anyway, Jodie Whittaker said she's over the moon to be joining Big Finish for more adventure in the TARDIS. Recording the 13th Doctor and Yaz is really a lovely thing to revisit. One of the things Mandip and I used to love on Doctor Who was getting in, doing a new episode, and meeting a brand new cast. I just can't wait to step back into the boots, put on the coat, and get cracking. One thing's for sure, it's going to be brilliant. Big Finish has a good track record of this, ideally with the 6th and 8th Doctor. I think they've done great works reinventing, well, not so reinventing, but fleshing out that character, especially the 6th Doctor, and really doing both Colin and Paul McGann justice for that. Mandip Gill herself added, Doctor Who has been a huge part of my career and personal life, and I'm looking forward to seeing how I can further enrich my character through this exhilarating series. To be able to work with Jodie again is a dream come true. We have such a special friendship. I'm sure the recordings will be filled with laughter. To be fair, Yaz is considered one of the most boring companions in the show's history. Primarily because during that time, there were at least 3 companions in the TARDIS for the first 2 seasons, and it never quite felt like any of them got any real time to shine, save Graham. It's kind of it. Yaz, a lot of times, just sort of stood there, and it didn't quite seem to work. Even in episodes that felt like they were going to be about her, like Demons of the Punjab, she sort of became a background character. And even when it was just her, the Doctor, and later Dan, it did sort of feel like she was, even then, taking a back seat to her dynamic with the Doctor and what that dynamic was supposed to be, which a lot of people accuse that of queerbaiting, and I'm gonna lie, pretty much feels like it. Just the tease of, hey, this first LGBT relationship with the Doctor and a companion was more important than anything else, and I think these actors deserve better than that. Big Finish's chairman, Jason Hay-Guillory, who you'll hear a lot at the end of every Doctor Who audio, said, this year, Big Finish is celebrating its 25th anniversary of producing full-cast Doctor Who audio dramas. So when we were granted the license to create new stories set during the 13th Doctor's era, we immediately set to work. He's delighted that the inimitable Jodie and Mandip have decided to return to their roles with us, and I'm excited to welcome to Big Finish, alongside our 2 other forthcoming series, for the Fugitive Doctor, played by Joe Martin, from the episode Fugitive of the Judoon, and The Master, played by Sacha Dhawan, starting in Spyfall, ending in Power of the Doctor. 25 has never looked brighter for the 13th Doctor and her fam. First of all, do not call them fam. Please drop that from the lexicon as a whole. Alright, it was cringe. But anyway, we'd seen the announcement of the Fugitive and the Dhawan Master audios for a while. I think it's been, 2 years at least? Since we saw that announcement, so it's nice to see that finally coming to something close to a head. I don't know what they're going to do with either of those. I don't think there's enough there, especially with the Fugitive Doctor, but that might be the appeal, that they have this freedom. Effectively, they have a Doctor that has no history outside of did work for the Division and at some point goes into hiding. That's kind of it. That is a lot of appeal to it. Now, what Dewan's Master was doing before or after the appearance in Spyfall or arriving on the Matrix on Gallifrey, which drove him to wipe out the Time Lords, we don't know. So there's a lot of wiggle room for both these characters. But granted, I think it's easier for Incarnation of the Master because you just have these gaps. Okay, well, we don't know what they were doing between here and here, so we can just add a story to it. Now, Big Finish creative director Nicholas Briggs, also along with Jason Haigh-Ellery, you will hear at the end of pretty much every Doctor Who audio, added Jodie and Mandip were so welcoming to me when I worked on set with them during the TV show. He provides the voices for Daleks and Cybermen. He's looking forward to repaying the compliment. They're lovely people and they're full of enthusiasm for this project. So this is, I think, the main reason Nicholas Briggs does this. He wants to work a rapport with whichever actors come along Doctor Who, so he can better work with them. When the time comes for the do Big Finish, so you get a feel of them, okay, I think we can work this guy or this person. Okay, we can, and talk with him, see what's going on here. Now, in reality, there's nothing but potential for Jodie Whittaker's Doctor to actually be something really interesting. Sort of be the incarnation that people wanted her to be, or at least wanted to enjoy. On some level, I think we all can agree that, hey, this era could have been better. Alright, and not the same way that, hey, Moffat maybe should have taken a year off to sort of come back fully rehashed and, taking on less responsibilities, just focus on Doctor Who. I think we can go with that one. It really did feel like, and on some level, Chibnall was lazy and decided, hey, they're going to critique the 13th Doctor no matter what we do, so let's not do anything. That's sort of what it felt like. It felt like a lot of missed opportunities were for some of the quote-unquote political or progressive stories. Orphan 55, Rosa, Kerblam, all of these had great ideas but never really delivered on them. So hopefully coming into Big Finish with these talented writers and less of an idea for deadlines, and hopefully with more creative control or creative input from Jodie Whittaker, we can get a really good 13th Doctor, one that'll really live up to those expectations, and maybe we'll gain an appreciation for this incarnation. Or hopefully I will. Alright, so whatever. What do you guys think? Do you like the idea? Do you hate this idea? What do you want to see from this incarnation on Big Finish? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you all later. This is Bug Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching as always. May your fandom serve you well. And I have to attempt again this 12th Doctor retrospective.